If you are a first-time home buyer or a seasonal investor, this video is for you. If you're looking for renting or owning in Canada, there are distinct advantages and challenges associated with both owning and renting a property. So today is a very good discussion that we're going to have whether to own or whether to rent. Welcome to my channel. I'm your humble realtor, Kumar. So today we are discussing about a very hot topic about whether to buy or whether to own a house in Canada at the current market situation. Renting versus owning. Owning your home may be one of the defining qualities most of the Canadians dream of. It includes a lot of ideas that comes with prosperity, success, and upward social mobility, and it kind of brings you a sense of achievement that you bring towards your family and your children. So, most of the Canadians think it as one of the visions that they have to have a house, and about 68% of Canadians always dream about having their own house one day or other, maybe today or tomorrow, even though the market is in a very tough situation. So why is it? So lifestyle plays a very big role in the decision-making process, whether to own a house or to rent. So home buying is most often associated with the family formation like marriage, childbirth. For the current millennial generation, the primary reported reason for buying a home is owning a dog. That's proven. So age is a major factor in general. Less than 40% of people under 35 years old own homes, and 60% of people above the age of 35 years old owns, and more than 80% of people above 65 years old own homes. So most young people begin their independent lives renting an apartment and maximizing the lifestyle flexibility and minimizing a hefty upfront cost associated with purchasing a home. So as they build their careers, save money, and start families, many choose to build a home, recognizing that a home ownership is better than renting. So what happens is they start saving money for better life, and eventually they start ending up having a single family house, or condominium, or a townhouse, or a duplex house according to their wish. At the other end of the age spectrum, most of the homeowners who are nearing retirement, they try to downsize the house, avoiding maintenance costs and other obligations associated with the home ownership. So which is best? What do you think is best, right? So is it better to rent or to buy a home? Almost all the adults would have asked this question once in a lifetime, whether to own a house or whether to rent. So there are distinct advantages which depends upon the circumstances. So before you decide, there are a few things you need to ask yourself. So the first point is, how long will you stay in the home? Each market is different. If you're thinking about buying a home and selling it in 2 years, it is very unlikely that buying will be cheaper than renting. Second point is, do you think of this house as an investment in your retirement plan? Most of the Canadians are used to their homes being a store of wealth that can liquidate in their retirement as part of the downsizing of their lifestyle. A cautionary note, although the price recovered from the 2007 or 2008 market fall, it will eventually continue to go up, but we still cannot promise the price still cannot be the same. The third point is, are you financially ready to own a house? For the commitment, are you willing to have those responsibilities with your budget? You need to be very cautious about your budgeting and how your finances can stretch, and you have to be very rude on your numbers or cautious about your numbers. So most of the time, the first-time home buyers make a mistake is that they think monthly rent is equal to monthly mortgage, but it is not the same what they think. It's usually mortgage is associated with a lot of other fees like property taxes, lawyer fees, closing costs. So there are other many factors like the maintenance cost. All those factors has to be included in it. Okay, so it's be cautious for the first time home buyers. And the fourth point is, are you prepared for a down payment? You should have a very good solid down payment. It can even start from as low as 5% to 20%. It depends upon your debt to income ratio. So it's better to have a good down payment. And fifth point is, are you emotionally stable, like strong to buy a house? That plays a very vital role. So I'll talk about that emotion later. And the sixth point is your commitment towards finding a house. You need to make sure that you pick the right agent and the right neighborhood, which will enable you to find the right spot, like which will give you a growth towards your property acquisition. Make sure that your location, like for example, school location, your recreation, and the grocery shops, all those has to be taken into consideration how far those are. And are you really are you a person that you want to be interested in lawn moving, or snow removal, or are you a person that you want to be condos, those are the factors that you need to consider before buying a house. So there are some advantages. I'll briefly explain to you what are the advantages of buying a house. So advantages of buying a house. First point is control over housing expenses. By selecting a fixed mortgage rate over a variable rate, the homeowner has assurance that the cost of the house it won't increase over a period of time. For example, fixed year like 5 years or 10 years or even 3 years. So the second point is you will build your equity over a period of time. That is a very good resource. And third is improvements increase your home's value. Homeowner can increase the home value of the home by doing some improvements like building a new kitchen, new bathroom, or renovating the whole basement. So this will eventually build add value to your house and substantially bring new buyers. It will bring a lot of attention towards your house compared to the other neighbors who are around you. So it will definitely boost value to your property. And the fourth point is home ownership rights. As you are the homeowner, you have the rights to do your your renovation for your house, like bring a new patio for the summer, have your paintings, different paintings for your house. But you have to make sure that you do not break the code of municipality or the homeowners associations, or and even so and even you can change your fixtures and update anything that you want, right? So but you have to keep in mind that you do not bring more and break the rule. That's the one point that you have to remember. And fifth point is a sense of belonging to the community. So most of the homeowners, what they do is they'll buy the house in their own community, which they feel they have roots to it. So by joining those neighborhoods, what happens is they're part of those those communities. They're part of these parties. They'll do a lot of volunteering work in the community center, for example group, and have businesses in that particular district. So renters may not have this kind of features, particularly because they would like to lease wherever the rent is less and which is feasible for the style. So those are the things that advantages I would say with coming to having a house. So when it comes to the next thing is advantages of having to be a renter, being staying in advantages of being a rent. So it does come with a lot of very small benefits, but not so much of benefits. Okay. So with regard to advantages of renting a house, the list is pretty small, but there's a saying goes like one man's pro is another man's con. So there's a lot of advantages that you should consider when buy and rent decision comes into place. So the first point is no responsibility for your maintenance. This is a big one. As a renter, you are not responsible for maintenance or repair costs. For example, if the toilet breaks or pipe bursts, or any appliance stops working, you do not have to worry. You just call up your landlord or your property management. They take care of it. So this is one of the one of the obligations most of the renters look for. So the second point is relocating is easier. When renting, relocating for work is much easier than compared to having a house. So you just break your lease, you go talk to your to your landlord, you try to sublet your apartment on the so this is one of the advantages that you have as a renter. On the other hand, selling a house, it takes pretty long time, and at times you may even settle for a lesser price because you want to move out very quickly because of your job. The third point is, as a renter, you don't have to worry about real estate market exposure, and you don't have to worry about what is happening, like if the market is going up or the market is going down. You just pay your rent and you just go on. So it's pretty cool as to be as a renter. So let's talk about the disadvantages, which is very much important among all the advantages. So the disadvantage of owning a home is maintenance. Maintenance and repair can be a very big cost incurred. So it can be from smallest of painting and even to the biggest expense of maintaining the AC machines, the ducts and like maybe the sewage control, if there's any sewage problem, pipes that burst out, plumbing, it can lead up to the cost. That's one of the big disadvantages of owning a house. Second point is upfront and closing cost. This includes deposit money, down payment, tax, insurance, land transfer taxes. There's a lot of costs included in buying a house. The third point is loss of relocation flexibility. It is much easier to break a lease and move out of a town than to arrange for the sale of a residence. So now let's talk about the disadvantage for the renting. So first point is no equity. The monthly rent you pay goes directly to the landlord. It represents the fee that you pay for using the property. You gain no ownership in the property, no matter how long you live there. And any home improvements that you do go directly to the landlord. Any structural, decorative improvements that renters make belongs to the landlord, the owner of the building, and you need to take a different approvals at times if you're staying in condominiums or any duplex houses. So after all this said, the decision to buy or rent depends on the prospective home buyer's circumstances. There is no denying though that a home of your own is a good financial and emotional investment. An investment is a home you can always mean for your future, for your children. There can be nothing better than leaving a home behind as a legacy for your child to enjoy. So there is much to consider when you want to buy a home. Switching from renting to home ownership is highly challenging, but an exciting and amazing decisions to make. So owning your first home is the first ever step towards perfect home you have been dreaming of. So because at the end of the day, as well as the reality is that there's no place like home, right? There's no place like home. So if you find this information more valuable, and if you feel there is any points that I missed out or anything that you can share, please do drop in my comments. And I've shared a link below about a book for the first time home buyers, where that will help them to buy a house if you follow these points. And please do click on the below link and enjoy your free book. And if you're not liked or subscribed or shared, please do share it. And I'm your humble realtor signing off with this video, and we'll see you in the next video. Please be connected. Thank you.